Hey, so we have an update. Today was a big day. It's November 3rd, and today was the day that we went to our specialist in Vermont for our first detailed ultrasound and fetal echo for Caden. And so that was today. So we're going to just do a quick recap of the day and what we learned and what's going on.
Yeah, we woke up this morning early to get there by our 9:45 appointment. It was a 3-hour drive to get where we were going. And during the drive, we went through sun, clouds, sleet, and rain. So it was quite the weather adventure to get there. But we were able to get there on time for our appointment. And our first appointment was the fetal echocardiogram to check Caden's heart and to see if we can see anything now to learn more about the future.
So she came in, the the person who
Something
does
like
the scanning.
The scanning person.
And she came in and spent quite a while taking pictures, and Caden was being a little bit difficult and not facing the ideal way. So she got a lot of the pictures she needed, but there was one in particular that she wasn't really able to get. He also had the hiccups during the echo, which was really fun just to see. Good. I can't feel, I feel him moving and kicking, but I can't feel the hiccups yet. So it was fun to see him have hiccups before I'm able to feel it. So she came in, she got that. She thought that the pediatric cardiologist would want to come in and try to get better pictures, but he ended up being happy with what they got. And so after that, we were brought to a room to meet with the pediatric cardiologist.
Yeah, we were brought to his office, I think.
Yeah, it was the first time John and I have been brought to a doctor's office to go over the findings of the echo. So, how are you feeling when we went in there?
I was feeling decent. It's very unnerving to sit down with a doctor and have him come and explain the results, because normally it's just you're good, okay, go home. So it was different experience for me to have a one-on-one talk per se with the doctor after this.
Yeah, and there's a Kleenex box right on the table, I noticed. So I was like, oh boy.
I did not notice that.
Oh, I noticed that. There's a little round table that we were told to sit down on, and the one thing on it was a box of Kleenex. It's great. But anyway, he came in, he was super friendly. He congratulated us on the baby. And then he kind of got right to the point, so we weren't sitting there in suspense the whole time.
Yeah.
Which was really helpful. He said, I have questions to ask you, but I'll ask you at the end. First, I'm just going to tell you what we saw. And so he told us, he did a really good job he showed us some diagrams, which I'll show quickly at the end of this video, but he went through diagrams, showed us how a heart is supposed to work, and then went through how Caden's heart is working. And pretty much he has something called common atrioventricular canal defect, which is a combination of 3 things, which is a ASD, a VSD, and a common AV valve. This set of things we were told is one of the most common heart defects they see in babies with Down syndrome. And we're told that it shouldn't affect the rest of pregnancy or birth. But he will need open heart surgery probably within the first 6 months of life, probably around month 3 or 4, unless for some reason he requires it earlier. So with that, I think we were both kind of it wasn't the worst case scenario, and so we were both feeling pretty good in that moment that it wasn't anything super, super serious, but anything heart related with a baby is still serious. And so the further away from it we get, I feel the more it's kind of hitting us that Caden will need open heart surgery as a baby. But thankfully it's on the scale of what heart things could be happening. It's on the lower end of risk and seriousness. Even though all heart stuff is serious.
And we knew also going in that heart issues were a good chance of happening. So having that in the back of our minds was, at least for me, was helpful to be like, to expect that, but then to actually get the news and realize that it's one of the lesser forms or a more common form of heart defect was, like I said, reassuring at the time. But now as we kind of think about it more, it's still a heart defect and still something we got to kind of work through.
Yeah. So with that, they want us to for sure deliver in Vermont, which we were already kind of thinking would happen. But it was nice to kind of hear them say this is what should happen, just so that Caden's in the right place when he's born. He'll probably spend at least a little bit of time in the NICU just to get checked out. And by a little bit of time, we don't actually know what that means. We don't know if they meant a couple hours or a couple days. A lot, I think, will depend on other factors not related to the heart. But I do think they'll want to kind of just check him as soon as he's born, see, make sure everything's okay with the heart for the time being. And then we also found out that they have a really great NICU there, but because we're kind of in like upstate New York, Vermont area, there's not a large enough population to have like a state-of-the-art pediatric heart surgery program. So they don't actually do like pediatric heart surgeries at that hospital, even though they have a great NICU and everything. And so we will probably have to go to either Albany or Boston for his surgery. So that's just another thing that we found out that we'll figure out as we keep going. But that meeting was good. I think just hard to find out that there's anything that's going to be surgically needed once he's here. But in the grand scheme of things, I feel like we feel thankful that it's not anything more serious than that. And we're just going to be praying over his heart in the months to come. And I'd appreciate prayers from everyone else as well. And after that, we went to our detailed ultrasound.
Yes. So we went to a different room now for the detailed ultrasound, which measures all like the head, the belly, the foot, the being bones, all that kind of stuff to see how our baby is compared to other people and that kind of stuff to kind of see if anything else is wrong or anything else is different. But that actually went fairly well.
Yeah, a lot of times with Down syndrome, there are soft markers that show up on ultrasounds later in pregnancy. And other than his heart, which is an obvious sign that something's going on, there weren't any other soft markers showing up still at this point. And so like he has the nasal bone, his legs are like within typical range proportionally.
Kidneys are the right size.
Kidneys are the right size. His nuchal fold or translucency, whatever it is on the back of their neck that they measure, is within typical range. And so after getting the heart information, it was nice to like not have anything else major show up on that one.
Yeah.
And so overall, it was a pretty good day. I think I'm personally just exhausted because it's just a lot of mental energy. And I think we just need to focus on like taking one thing at a time. And I've even told John tonight, like, I just can't jump ahead to heart surgery because like we're just not there yet. And there's other things we have to kind of get through before then. And at that time I can think through that and try and figure out all the logistics and stuff, but that's not where we are now. So just remembering to stay present and trust that things will work out. So anything else?
I think that's pretty much about it.
Yeah, so I'll show you a diagram of what the heart looks like and some of our photos from today's ultrasound. We got a whole ton.
We got a whole ton of photos.
Should hold them closer. So you got lots of profile pictures. And we got the feet. And then a couple more profile pictures. So that was...
He was very photogenic.
Super fun. I love pictures. I have a whole board of all the ultrasound pictures we've gotten so far. So I'll show you the diagram, and that's our update. Bear says hi. She's super excited. But here's the diagram of the heart. Obviously I'm not a doctor, so don't take any of this as like doctor advice, but just from what we understood is that normally this part of the heart should come all the way down through here, and there should be 4 separate chambers. And Caden has a hole up here called an ASD and a hole down here called the VSD. And then this valve should actually be 2, like a valve here and a valve here, 2 separate valves, and instead it's 1. So kind of like the whole middle of his heart didn't form quite the way it was supposed to. So it's called common atrioventricular canal defect, and it's a combination of these kind of 3 things. And so they'll go in and repair it by, I think they gave us a picture. Yeah. By kind of having this come down the middle, like putting a middle piece in, and then this will then hopefully turn into 2 valves instead of being 1 big one. So yeah, anyway, that's our update from today. Thanks for watching, and we'll update you more as our journey keeps unfolding.